can take a look at several creations here. Probably we need to send you some better support for digital. This, I don't know if you can see here. This is the handmade one. So handmade one is very much a project at the heart of Greubel Forsey in terms of our philosophy and approach of safeguarding and preserving traditional watchmaking skills. So when they say handmade, it's really 95% handmade. There are only, in fact, we can look, the sapphire crystal, the spring bar for the bracelet, the the rubber joints for the case, the mainspring and the jewels. These are the only parts we did not handmade. Every screw is handmade, 83 screws, taking up to 6 to 8 hours for each one. There's a total of 6,000 man-hours to build this timepiece, but for us, 6,000, yeah? So this is really a project where, for us, this is the true essence of our mission as watchmakers at Greubel Forsey, to preserve and transmit and safeguard these skills for future generations and avoid loss of them. Particularly keen in this time of crisis where people might seek to cut corners. For us, it's out of the question. We are very much focused on our core professions and skills, and so preserving those is paramount. And so handmade one could only be 1 or 2 timepiece in a year, and it needs a team between 8 and 12 people. A project which is really for us is fantastic to be able to showcase. Well, it's a piece really which is a piece which is going to be a commissioned piece. So the collector is going to, he will hear of it and then he might want to see it. So either we can arrange to ship the very first working prototype that I showed you, or we can hopefully meet up in the near future to be able to visualize it firsthand. We don't like to give a price. If you imagine that in our collection, a timepiece with the tourbillon, handmade one has the tourbillon. So in our collection, a timepiece with the tourbillon would be around $340,000 US. So when you're handmade, with the intensity of the work and 6,000 hours to build, you can imagine that even in relation to Greubel Forsey standard, that the value of this piece is going to be several times higher. So you could be imagining a piece between $750,000 and $1 million US would be a kind of area for this type of piece. But for us, you see, it's not a commercial piece. It's about safeguarding these skills. And what we need to do is, with the collectors, for them, when they understand this and they have the means, is for them to say, I want to support the project. So it's about supporting the project and making sure that we can continue to share these skills and preserve them for future generations. Because they are all executed by hand. It's the mind to the hand skill. So this is really the big difference that we're looking at alongside the watch industry. Because with these skills, it really means that the expertise of the people, their practice, for example, over this lockdown, when we can get them back into the workshop, it will take them a little bit of time to be able to regain the dexterity, because it's something which which the basis is always there, but like riding a bicycle, if you haven't ridden a bicycle for 1 month, for 2 months, then you need to go out carefully at the beginning. Then we have a very recent, this is a piece we just showcased at the spring equinox, so a little over a month ago. It's the Perpetual calendar. It's called QP Equation, and this is in a beautiful 5N, rich 5N red gold case, and you have a chocolate finish dial, so with a rather beautiful tone, which is changing depending on the angle of the light. And of course, this is our signature and really our seventh invention, the Perpetual calendar from Greubel Forsey, which is a landmark milestone piece and a must-have for the collector, combining 15 different indications in one timepiece. So this is a new release. Yes, as well, we have not only do we have, let's bring it back. So I don't know if you can see. Then we have the mechanical computer, which is on the through the movement, and on the back here we can see the equation of time display, which is a very novel, intuitive display, which we've been able to bring forward to be able to understand the equation of time and how it's interacting. Finally, but last but not least at all, we have the GMT Sport, which you perhaps you wouldn't have seen either. So this was a 2020 release, which we were able to discreetly showcase to some collectors during our world tour. And officially, it was a soft launch, end of 2020. And this is the first timepiece from the Greubel Forsey collection with a real sport-oriented vocation. So 10 atmospheres, 100-meter water resistance, a very unique profiled form to the case here that you see. And yet, from straight face on, it's a round case. But because of the very original approach with the curved form, we've been able to provide a very interesting and engaging architecture to the piece. And there we have, of course, our iconic GMT complication with the 3D globe. We have the hands, which are cantilevered on a bridge above the movement here in the center. And of course, 24-second tourbillon. It's a lightweight piece, around just 112, 115 grams to the timepiece, despite the complications, and limited edition of just 11 examples in a specific combination of material with the globe. We've already been able to ship the first 11 pieces. And of course, we were hoping to be able to start work on the next edition and finalize that. But it's going to take a little bit more time. So we have some collectors who are quite impatient to be able to discover the piece. But you know, it's moving forward in the pipeline. And you too, keep safe.